What's going on, YouTube fam, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about how to get the real Mexican experience. Yes, whether you're visiting Mexico or you're planning on living here, you need to get that Mexican experience. And what I mean by that is experiencing the culture, meeting the people, trying the food, etc. So we're going to get into all that. And a lot of people, they'll come and they're like, oh yeah, I went to Cancun on the resort, or Acapulco on the resort, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Nothing wrong with resorts. But if you want to go to another country and really feel the culture, you need to get out there and see something, all right? So we're gonna do a little walk and talk today. It's a very nice day in Guadalajara, and it's good to be outside. So getting some exercise and providing some content for you all. So let's talk about it. So getting the real Mexican experience, what does that mean? Well, that means experiencing the Mexican culture and not just being in tourist places, number one. Because if you come here and the only thing you know is resorts, or the only thing you know is tourist areas that don't really have that much culture because it's targeted towards tourists. So if you only stay in those places, you're not really feeling the vibes of Mexico. You need to go to places in Mexico that you can feel the culture, you can see the history, you can see the way of life, you know what I mean? Try the local food, not just like, don't come here and be like, oh, where's the McDonald's? I mean, there's McDonald's over Mexico, but did you come to Mexico to eat McDonald's? I hope not, So you wanna try some genuine Mexican food. Like, go to a real restaurant in the middle of the city that's not in a tourist area, try that Mexican food. A great way to get the Mexican experience. Meet local people. You could do that a variety of ways. You could strike up a conversation at a cafe, at a bar, in a park, or wherever. Mexican people are very friendly. They like to talk and they like to meet foreigners as well and know about you, know about where you're from and all that. So meeting the local people, making friends, and when you make those friends, they're gonna show you cool stuff too, things you never knew, like, oh, what do you recommend to see? And they'll give you the recommendations because it's their country and they're gonna give you the best tips, you know what I mean? And you can meet people even on Facebook groups. Like, for example, there's Facebook groups, especially here in Guadalajara, where local Mexicans and foreigners, they interact, it's like a community, and they even do meetups. Here they do meetups several days a week. There's a business network meetup. There's a meetup where you go to have coffee and drinks or whatever, and language exchange, and you meet locals. And that's a great way to get the Mexican experience, because you're gonna meet local people, and then they're gonna show you local places, all right? So that's another way to get the real Mexican experience. Another way is to check out some places in nature. Yes, Mexico is a huge country and there's a lot of nature here, okay? So you got mountains, you got rainforests, you got desert, you got big cities, you got beach towns. I mean, beaches everywhere. The Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean Sea coast, the Pacific. It's a land full of nature. So get out in nature and really feel that, okay? If you like mountain climbing, do that. If you're like, riding ATVs out in the world, I want to do that. Ride some ATVs, do that. See the nature, go to a lake, go see maybe some ancient Mayan ruins in Yucatan, go see some of the pyramids that are close to Mexico City. This is the way to get the real Mexican culture. Another way is to learn the history. Go to cultural events, A lot of places in Mexico have free events that happen all the time. I know in Guadalajara, there's always, every time I look in the post, there's always free events going on here. So whether it's cultural events, Centro Histórico, arts, all kinds of different stuff going on, and then you can meet people there, you can experience that culture, and it's a good thing. And another thing too, like when you're going to these places, when you're going to like the central areas, they have the cathedrals, that's another great way. You get to see the history, the architecture, all of that, right? So going to the city centers, to a lot of Mexican cities, you're gonna see a lot of cool stuff, all right? And you can get the Mexican experience in bigger cities. Like, I live in Guadalajara, as you all know. This is a very Mexican city, yeah? I mean, you got foreigners here, but you would never know, and you don't see them that much. It's very Mexican, the vibe is dope, and yeah, that's what I wanted. So I decided to move here. I mean, I left Yucatan, Mérida. It was good, but I needed something else. I needed that more, because it was getting more popular, and a lot more foreigners are moving there. So I was like, man, I came to Mexico to get that Mexican experience. So I moved to Guadalajara, and I've been here a year and a half, and I love it, okay? So that's one way, another way. So you want to do things that locals do. Look for local events. Go to local coffee shops. Go to like local places so you can see how people are living, how people are eating. You know what I mean? There's so much stuff to do all over this country. And you don't want to limit it to just being with other foreigners. And let's talk about that. Now, obviously, I have foreigner friends too, Americans and other people from other places, other countries. But I have Mexican friends too, and that's important. So you don't want to just come here and just stay with people that are other foreigners and never interact with Mexicans. It's like, I mean, if I just want to be here and be around only Americans or only North America or whatever, I could have stayed in the United States. You know what I mean? Or moved to another place where people are, you know, from that culture. But I wanted the Mexican experience, so I came here. So for me, it's different too. I've been around the world. I lived in Brazil. I've been all over Latin America. I've been all over Europe, you know, all North America, Caribbean. And, you know, I know how it is experiencing culture. So for me, it's like a no-brainer. Go meet the people, see what they're doing. All right. Now, another good way to get the Mexican experience is, instead of hotels, Airbnbs. Now, I know some people are divided on Airbnb. Sometimes it could be bad. Sometimes it could be amazing. I've had most of my experience in Airbnb have been good all around the world. But why I say that, if you get an Airbnb in a Mexican neighborhood, you're going to get that real feel of how the people are living in that neighborhood, you know? So let's say, for example, we're in Providencia right now, okay? People, let's say you stay around here, then you're going to walk around. You're going to see like this park. You can walk down the middle. You know, there's different things you can do. And then you're going to see how people are living out here. You know, you're going to see people walking their dog. You know, like behind me in that plaza, you got like cafes and restaurants and everything. And it's a local vibe. A lot of small businesses that are local as well. So, you know, that's a great way. Stay in the Airbnb in a good neighborhood and just walk around the neighborhood. I'm telling you, it's really underrated, man. It's really underrated. And another way to experience the real Mexico is walk as much as you can, okay? You walk as much as you can in a city that's very walkable, because you have some of the best experiences. You see things that you probably wouldn't see if you're taking Ubers everywhere, or if you got a tour guide taking you everywhere. You're just not gonna see certain things. You know what I mean? Things I've stumbled on, like new restaurants I just discovered just by walking, new cafes, stores, all kinds of stuff, just by walking around. And, you know, like I said, you're gonna see things that are not targeted towards foreigners. It's targeted towards local Mexican people. And you're getting that real Mexican quality, right? So those are a few ways that you all can get the real experience out of Mexico. Get off the resort, get out of Cancun, get out of those places like that, and just travel around the country. Go to places off the beaten path, you know. And I'm telling you, you're gonna get that experience. You're gonna meet great people. You're gonna eat good food, because hey, everybody out there knows Mexico has some of the best cuisine on the planet. So you will not be disappointed by Mexican food. And there's just so much to offer in Mexico, okay? So that's a little bit of breakdown on how to get the real Mexican experience. I hope that helped you all. Hope you found value out of that video. I'm gonna continue walking around enjoying this nice weather today on Sunday. I wanna say shout out to all my subscribers, my new subscribers, and everybody watching. Even if you're not subscribed, I appreciate you clicking that button to watch. And if you're not subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Go ahead on and do it. And hit the like button, share this with people who think might find this interesting. And yeah, that's all for today, everybody. I hope you all have a great Sunday. And the rest of your weekend, whatever you're doing out there, enjoy yourself, all right? And I'll catch you in the next video. Saludos desde Guadalajara. Peace.